I've gone back to being a child. I don't want to be an adult right now, and I just live my life like I couldn't when I was in school.
How are things in your life now?
Well, I have a mommy and daddy, adopted mommy and daddy, who are totally comfortable with me being a little girl, and their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive. In fact, her youngest granddaughter, when I was 8, a year ago I was 8, and she was 7, and she said to me, I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since. But we have a great time, and we color, we do kids stuff. It's called play therapy. No medication, no side thoughts, and I just get to play.
Wow, so we can really actually just do whatever we want these days.
Yeah, they've thrown everything out the window. Rules don't exist anymore. So trans age is a thing. It's an actual thing. I don't know how big it is, but it's growing. And I did some research on TikTok of it, because obviously you'd go to TikTok for something like that. And it is definitely something that's growing. It's just people that don't identify with being an adult. They don't feel like they should be an adult. They feel like their inner child is trapped, whatever that means. And that they just identify with however they feel.
Excuse me, are you shaking the booty?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. Do we shake the booty?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You don't.
Just a sick world we're living in. Sick people.
I just don't know how people financially can do this.
He's a father of 7 as well.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if I wanted to just quit my job right now and just be an 18-year-old again or a 15-year-old again, where am I getting the money to survive?
You asking me?
Age regression isn't just an aesthetic. It's also the impure craziness that being put into the mindset of a child brings. I'm crying because I got rid of all my stuffies except my favorite, and Squishmallows.
I don't know. This is lunacy as far as I'm concerned. You gotta be one selfish bastard to be a father of 7 and then identify as an 8-year-old and go get adopted by another family. But the thing that spins me the most about that,
these families condoning it.
they adopted this guy when they have children themselves. Can you not see what's going on here?
So you've got this grown-ass man living in the house with your kids.
As an 8-year-old. That means, you let 8-year-olds share beds, right? Kids sleep in the same beds. So if he's identifying as an 8-year-old.
Regardless, you don't know this man either.
He's a stranger.
People are too trustworthy these days.
They're letting this man hang with their kid.
Michael, I say it every time, but just when I thought it can't get any worse, you always throw a video my way. And honestly, I'm just gonna do whatever I want now, because clearly we're allowed to.
We are allowed to. We are. Like, for all the people that were like, oh, don't be ridiculous, man. You can't identify as whatever you want. Like, a gender thing's separate. Gender thing might be separate, but the lines are already blurred. If you don't think people can identify as whatever they want, you're a bigot.
Can I get your names, please?
Andrew.
Rosie.
The question today is, can a man become a woman?
Yes.
Yes.
In what circumstances, in what way?
Well, I suppose if they already feel a woman, but they were born a man, then yeah, they can become. It's up to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I say, let's say, if I dress as a woman, so the normal like coats or shoes or whatever, would you accept me as a woman?
Depends on what you say, isn't it?
No, but if I say it and I'm for real and I do that.
No, regardless of how you dress, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd say I'm a woman?
Yeah.
Could you define woman for me?
No.
I don't think I can.
So in the dictionary, what would you think so it's in the dictionary, there's a definition for it. What would you pursue?
Biologically female, I assume, in the dictionary,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'd say the same in
there's a difference between gender and sex, right?
So if I say I can be a woman, but you just told me biologically female, but the truth is I'm not biologically female, so would you say you're contradicting yourself or no?
No.
I think if you identify as a woman, then that means that you are. So I think.
Well, you said woman is
biologically a woman or not.
There's gender, right, and there's biological sex. So
you're saying they're both different. Sex, you're saying, is assigned at birth, and then gender is a social construct. Do you agree with that?
I suppose so, but it doesn't really make a difference, does it? Society-wise.
So there are some people that are saying I identify as a wolf. Would you accept that? It exists in
That's
TikTok.
what they want to
if they
identify
want to,
as, yeah.
Does it not harm society if we're not living in truth?
No.
But it's not a lie, is it? It's where
We've lost touch with reality. In the pursuit of being inclusive and empathetic, we have actually lost touch with reality. There's no other way to say it. Look, I think people they should identify as whatever they want, because
Not whatever they want.
no, just go for it. Just fuck it. Like, let's just go all the way now. I'm identifying as Vegeta. I'm wearing myself on my top today. I'm identifying as a Saiyan.
You want to know what your big mistake was, Black? What mistake? It's that stolen body! Every muscle, every cell! His body was built from a lifetime of intense battles! But you took it! It's all second-hand! You feel the power in those Saiyan cells, but you don't truly understand it! Because you didn't build it! And you'll never learn to think like that clown! How can there be such a huge power gap between us? That's simple. You're an interloper, a Saiyan imposter. And I'm the real thing. The almighty Prince Vegeta!
I identify as a tree.
You identify as a tree. Of all the things you could have chosen, a tree.
Yeah.
You're just gonna stand there. Like, that would be your whole existence. Why don't you identify as something?
And
more?
I don't have to talk because trees don't talk.
Well, this is a podcast. That's gonna be a problem. Identify as something we could use. Listen.
I identify as Kim Kardashian. Who's to say I can't?
There's no one that can say you can't. You can identify as whatever you want these days. There's nothing stopping you. From when they said that you can't use gender and sex as a basis to form the argument of a slippery slope for everything else, it's very, very, very easy to understand why. Because if society moves this way to accommodate for these people here, why wouldn't it move this way a little bit more to accommodate for these people here? Because if you don't, and you're the trans person over here who was accommodated for, but you don't want to accommodate the wolf people, you're also a bigot by your standards. There's no winning here. It is only downhill. There's no other. There's nowhere else to go if we can continue accepting whatever people want to be. Now people are identifying as 8-year-olds when they're a father of 7. Come on,
And
where's the line?
accepting it. That's the problem.
it's whatever.
But here's the lie. If I say I identify as a wolf, I'm not an animal, am I? I'm a human, a primate.
If you feel like a wolf, right?
Yeah.
So you'd accept that as well?
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've got to get going.
Can I ask you one last question? One last. Would you accept it if I walk in the ladies' toilets? Because you said I'm a woman, right? If I identify as one, would you accept a biological man walking into the toilets for a woman?
Yeah, if that was how you identified as a woman, then I don't think we can.
So you think that's okay?
Well, there's nobody walking into women's toilets, right?
But that's what they're fighting. That's what they're fighting for. They're saying I'm a woman, I identify as a woman, therefore there should be facilities for me, which is the women's ladies' toilets.
Yeah, which is fine if they identify as a woman. They're not going in it for nefarious reasons, are they?
So yeah, and they would be fine.
No, thanks so much.
How would you know if they're going in for nefarious reasons or not?
Yeah, what people are creating is a very, very, very dangerous society. And this is going to end up causing psychos to use this to their advantage.
Of course they are. People are already doing it. Guys are identifying as women and being sent to female prisons. And what do you think's happening in those prisons? You can't just be whatever you say you are. It does not work. It just doesn't. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There has to be someone has to draw the line somewhere. There has to be a line. You could, like, the gender thing is one thing, okay? We're gonna debate that until we're blue in the face. But trans age, trans species, trans abled. You know, there's people that feel like they should have one less limb. I'm not joking. That's an actual thing. There's people that feel like they shouldn't have. Don't you remember in What Is a Woman when they were talking about it? He said that there's some people that feel like, you know, they shouldn't have an arm or they shouldn't have a leg, that they're transabled. Imagine you are born with one of the greatest privileges of all time, everything working, and you're like, I want to lose one. I want to lose an arm. I want to lose a leg. But you would have to enable these people. You would have to affirm them. You don't get to tell those people that they have a mental health issue. You can no longer say that.
But I just don't understand how people are condoning somebody saying, I want to identify as an animal. Like that whole situation of that girl in the school that done it and the teachers were allowing it. How are you allowing people to identify as something that is impossible, scientifically impossible?
Well, I mean, the same way they're allowing people to identify with things that we don't agree with, right? It's all the same. They try to say it's not, but it is all the same. And it's like I've said to people before, and I've had this conversation with multiple people where you're talking about the trans argument, that's one thing. But then when you say to them, so if you knew that there was a large contingent of people on this planet that identified as wolves or sheep or horses or whatever, and they were saying that this is how we feel inside, this is my true calling, this is who I am, and you're not affirming them, why am I the bigot but not you? Where is the line here? This is what I don't. This is the problem that I have with people. Everyone that I've spoken to about this actually has a line. They won't say it in public, but behind closed doors they will, and they will admit that trans species or transabled, as far as they are concerned, and these are people that are on the in support of transitioning and all that stuff. These are people that would affirm you as a man and me as a woman. They will turn around to me and say, no, people that want to chop off their limbs are mentally disabled. People that want to identify as wolves are mentally disabled. People that want to identify as 8-year-olds when they're 50 are mentally disabled. But how can they say that? How can they say that but then affirm whatever they feel like is right? It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsense. This is all going too far. It is going too far. And for people to walk up to you in the street and ask you very basic questions, there is no way that the guy from Universal Thoughts who was doing the interview, you would be okay with him walking into your daughter's bathroom or a bathroom that your daughter is using. There is just no way. You are lying. And if you think that no one is going to have nefarious intentions, keep going down this road, because the only people that are going to get affected by this are women. Once again, we try to champion women and protect them and give them their own spaces, and at the same time be completely dismissive of reality and just throw caution to the wind. It's like, oh, people don't do those things. Like we don't live in a sick society with sick people. Keep doing it and see where you end up. Let's see where we end up. It's not going to affect me, but it's going to affect a lot of women. It will affect you. You know, you'll be in a bathroom one day and some dude comes in or some wolf comes in and you just defecates on the floor and you can't say nothing because it's a wolf. Let's see where we end up.